Look at me. 35 years later, it still tears me up.
It seems that every time Debra Tate comes close to getting over the pain of her sister Sharon's brutal murder, something happens to bring it all back.
I'd really like to know where you get the crazy idea that other people don't want to live.
This time it's the new TV movie, Helter Skelter, a harrowing account of two shocking mass murders, masterminded by cult leader Charles Manson. At the heart of the story is the brutal slaying of Sharon Tate, who was 8 months pregnant with the child of her husband, director Roman Polanski.
She was one of the last to go. She was pleading for her baby's life.
Sharon Tate lived and died here in the Hollywood Hills, and then suddenly nobody felt safe. Because if anybody led a charmed life, that somebody was Sharon Tate.
Excuse me, Mr. Drysdale.
She'd appeared in the TV show The Beverly Hillbillies, but her big break came in the movie Valley of the Dolls.
There was much more to Sharon than Hollywood saw. They only saw the physical beauty. She was extremely loving, nurturing. When she was a young woman, she would take me with her everywhere, include me in everything she did.
Sharon was murdered on the night of August 9th, 1969. Debra had planned to visit Sharon that night, but her plans changed, and that may have saved her life.
I could have been killed.
Just like that, Sharon Tate was gone, and though a wild-eyed man named Manson would never again taste a moment of freedom, he did become what Debra Tate feared he would become, a star behind bars.
People who commit heinous crimes are not icons. They are not superstars.
But movies such as Helter Skelter, as well as jailhouse interviews and parole board hearings, have kept Charles Manson in the headlines for more than 3 decades.
Yes, they should stay in prison for the rest of their lives.
This is Debra Tate testifying at a Manson-related parole board hearing some years ago. She makes it her business to be there every time the man behind her sister's murder comes up for parole.
I just wanted to look in his eyes. Believe it or not, I don't think he's crazy as a loon. I think that most everything he does is extremely calculated.
And in the end, the enduring legacy of Charles Manson appears to be a trail of pain that never fades.
Oh my God, it's absolute devastation. Complete and total devastation. Sharon was my best friend.
No one has looked inside this trunk for nearly 40 years, until now.
I've never unwrapped this for anybody.
This California woman is showing us some priceless family heirlooms. They once belonged to her sister, one of Hollywood's biggest style icons, Sharon Tate. Sharon was the beautiful 60s actress who rose to fame in the classic Valley of the Dolls. But in 1969, Sharon and her unborn child were murdered. She was the most famous victim of the notorious Charles Manson family murders. Sharon's sister Debra kept her sister's possessions all these years in this trunk.
It puts a big warm smile on my face. It's like having her next to me for a few moments.
But Debra says these dresses are too beautiful to keep under wraps any longer. So for the first time, she's opening up Sharon Tate's trunk and showing only inside edition the wardrobe that made her sister a fashion icon.
How would you describe your sister's style?
Very eclectic, very free, spirited, and a combination between sexy and a childlike innocence.
With Sharon's sister's blessing, we went to Tripod Studios in Venice, California, and using a model, recreated a classic Sharon Tate photo session. It's the first time these clothes have been worn in 39 years. The makeup artist used old publicity photos of Sharon as a guide to recreate her distinctive look.
Sharon's whole look is about the smoky eye. It's all about the eyes, lots of eyelashes.
Debra, who was only a teenager when Sharon was at the height of her fame, gave some last-minute suggestions.
What she would do is darken from the apex of the nose going up towards the brow with just a little bit of a shadow.
Then it was time for photographer Jeremy Corbell to stamp the photos. This look says swinging 60s. It's just like Sharon would pose in a mini dress and leather strings on her feet.
Am I doing this right?
You were doing pretty good.
Debra says Sharon wore the strings to look like sandals so she could go barefoot into restaurants and stores in Beverly Hills. And you can imagine Sharon wearing this lavender blouse that doubled as a nightie. Or with boots, it could be a mini dress for a night on the town. And this is Sharon's mink coat, her name embroidered on the inside. But one dress was so special, Debra wouldn't let another woman wear it.
Her wedding dress is also stored in here.
This is Sharon's wedding dress from her 1968 marriage to director Roman Polanski. He was in France at the time of the murders. The dress was made of off-white taffeta and has blue velvet bows on the sleeves. As the photo session progressed, Debra Tate fought back tears. But despite her emotions, she was happy to show off Sharon's wardrobe that has been tucked away for decades, hoping it will help her sister's legacy carry on.